Hey guys, this is Josh from Photography Tips HQ, and today we are going to be looking at how to take a photo of a starry night and how to edit it in Lightroom. So the first thing you're going to have is a tripod. You want to keep the camera nice and steady because your shutter is going to be set at about 30 seconds. So I tried a couple at 60 seconds and the star started to get a little bit elongated and I wasn't super happy about that. So the picture still turned out. I'm happy with it, but not as happy as I could be like I am with this one where the stars basically don't look like they have any streaks in them. So 30 seconds on that shutter speed. Make sure you have a tripod set up. The other thing is you got to be in a place that has very little light pollution. So I was out on an island. Everything was pretty much pitch black while we were taking these shots. The other thing, as far as your camera settings go, like I said, shutter speed, 30 seconds. The aperture is at 2.8. I put my lens on manual focus and set it on infinity. And my ISO was at 1250. So I know that seems high, but you gotta have that sensor drawing that light in. So those are your settings. Again, that's an ISO 1250. Aperture 2.8. Make sure you're on manual and you're on infinity, and a shutter speed of 30 seconds. One thing to just keep in mind to be safe, you don't make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Like as you can see from the bottom of this picture, I'm gonna crop that out, but we were on a road, and so it was pitch black. We had no lights on, obviously, because we don't want to be drawing any light. So just be aware of your surroundings. Be careful. And have fun. So now we're in Lightroom, and we're going to take this photo from what you see here to this, and you can see it's a pretty dramatic change. So I have a few settings I'm going to change real quick. First is going to be the exposure. I'm just going to bump it up to 25 or 0.25. There we go. The contrast, I'm going to take it up to 36. Give or take. All right. The highlights, I didn't really touch them. I just left them at 0. Okay. Shadows, we're going to plus 82 on that. 83 is fine. The whites, I'm going to do plus 58. You can see it's starting to bring out some more details there. So anyway, plus that's at 59, no worries. And the blacks we're going to bring down to 36. Okay. Yeah, 35 is fine. So you can see we've started to almost add layers of colors here. And so with that, I want to crop this thing because I want to get the road out of there. I just think it kind of looks bad. So crop it down. Okay, the next thing we're doing is you can kind of see there's kind of some bluish tints to this. So what I like to do is take the brush, and we're just going to kind of bring those colors out a little bit. Not a whole lot. I don't want to add a whole lot, but we're going to do just kind of a purple color here. See that? See, this is H249. All right. So that's going to be our color. I'm going to bring the flow down to like 15, 14. Okay. And kind of just going to paint this in here. Oh, the exposure's up. I want to drop that down. We don't need to mess with any exposure right now. So we're going to paint that stuff in. And it's just, it's really a light, you're not doing too much. I just want to get the colors to pop just a little bit. So we don't want to add too much. So before we get to, and the other brush, so we're going to hit new. The other brush color I want to do is I want to add a little bit of orange to the skyline down here. All right, and again, it's just ever so slight. I'm gonna bump up the flow just a little bit into 24 there. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of that orange down on the water. All right, again, it's just ever so slightly. You don't want to add, you don't want to add too much. Just kind of make things pop. Back to the global settings here. So we're done. Done with that. So the clarity, I'm going to bump that up to like 48. I'm going to bump it up pretty high. Okay. Vibrance, we're going to drop that down just a little. I originally dropped it down pretty far, but I kind of like how vibrant it is. So, and we may drop it down a little bit after I add the saturation. So just add a little bit of saturation here. Yeah, I'm really liking that. It's a little bit different than the other one, but I'm really liking it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the graduated filter. You can see I still have the color orange turned on. All right, and the exposure, it's going to be way off. So we're going to grab that thing. We're going to just stretch it out. We're going to rotate it. All right. And then we're going to grab it. We're going to move it up just a little bit. We're going to pull down on the bottom one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the exposure because obviously you can see how noisy the little bit of road is there, the trees, the houses, everything. It just looks like garbage. So we're going to drop that exposure down, and you're going to see the oranges just start to really pop in this picture. See? So, well, we're going to put it down about 0.83 or so. You can see how, just how much better that looks. So we're at 0.88, and I love the way you can see the orange just kind of moving up into the skyline. And you can also see more of the stars as we lower that exposure in that area. So the last thing I want to look at real quick is the noise reduction, because you can kind of see there's some, it's fairly noisy. I mean, I was at 1250, so we're going to just turn that noise reduction up just a little bit. We don't want to go too far and start making everything look too soft. So kind of play with the detail a little bit. Yeah, so like our luminance is like 36, details at 69, and the contrast is at 48. So we look at that, and there you go. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you would do me a big favor, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you get a chance, go check out the website, photographytipshq.com. There's lots of blog posts on there. I've recently started a podcast. You'll find, I got 6 episodes up already. So go check that out. Get on my mailing list. I'd love to chat with you guys. Find me on Twitter at photographytipshq, and we'll see you in the next video.